Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. We are live here on WIP, the Sounds of Philadelphia, for Philadelphia Brown Trousers Baseball. My name is Mutton Curtis. I am your play-by-play announcer for this very important, actually, third game of the series, the decider between the Milwaukee Dutchmen and the home team, Philadelphia Brown Trousers. I mention this because the series is tied at 1 apiece. Both teams are currently sitting in the standings. Philadelphia at 4-4, Milwaukee at 3-5. So a very good opportunity for Philadelphia to move up in the standings, going up to 5-4, tying themselves with Pittsburgh. And from my understanding, perhaps I guess whoever lost the game between New York and Amalgamated Baseball Holdings, once that score comes across the wire to my information. But most importantly, this is a game that is for the bronze trophy for the winner of the old-timey baseball promenade. That was an exhibition tournament between teams from the Continental League and Commissioner Charles Kavanaugh's Governors League as well. And once we get down to the field after the PA announcements, we will bring into the studio Commissioner Kavanaugh. He is, of course, currently on the field, shaking hands and kissing cheeks of the players as they get themselves ready. And the bronze trophy has been presented in front of the players to know what they are playing for. It's not just a win of our 42-game season of the Continental League. Of course, that is very important. Every game matters. And, of course, as we get to the end of the season, eventually, this might be a game that could matter eventually. But for now, without further ado and hubbub, let's go down to the field for the announcements of the starting lineup of both teams. Good evening and welcome to 30th Street Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. To all you Janes and Johns out here to see your Philadelphia Brown Trousers as they take on the Milwaukee Dutchmen. We'd like to remind you that today's game is the final of the old-timey baseball promenade, and the winners tonight shall be presented with the bronze trophy as promenade champions of 1919. With that in mind, let us now introduce the batting order and starting lineup of the Milwaukee Dutchmen, the visitors team. Batting first, the third baseman, number 27, Venus Jackson. Batting second, the first baseman, number 4, Booty Crooks. Batting third, the center fielder, number 45, Chesty Squiders. Batting fourth, the second baseman, number 23, Nello Buffrott. Batting fifth, the shortstop, number 10, Ben Mork Stramplison. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 15, Rob Dobster. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 8, Hofty Bagdood. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 33, Goody Fine. And batting ninth, the starting pitcher for the Milwaukee Dutchmen, number 30, Con Ruffelson. And now we introduce the starting lineup and batting order of your Philadelphia Brown Trousers. Batting first, the left fielder, number 6, Willie Pregnant. Batting second, the first baseman, number 13, Crispy Yellow. Batting third, the right fielder, number 41, Truss Grundleson. Batting fourth, the center fielder, number 2, Dunk Ferrari. Batting fifth, the shortstop, number 4, Mickey Lice. Batting sixth, the second baseman, number 3, Poonsley Fair. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 10, Trant Sovin. Batting eighth, number 23, the third baseman, Pegel Scalia. And batting ninth, the starting pitcher for your Philadelphia Brown Trousers, number 54, Moose Mussage. Yes, and as Commissioner Charles Kavanaugh makes his way into the studio from on the field, we are very ready and excited for this game tonight. Moose Masic and Con Wuthelson, the ace pitchers of both teams. The aces in the hall, the first in the starting rotation.
Play ball.
As we get ready for 9 innings of exciting promenade baseball.
Yes, certainly very, very helpful to see you and Mr. Curtis tonight. I feel like I'm having a flashback. This might have been my hangover from the partying with the Kaiser and the Chicago gin drinkers last night.
Oh my goodness, you were partying with the Chicago gin drinkers. Were they here in Philadelphia?
Yes, in the Kaiser. I must say I'm quite dehydrated, have a hangover, and I shall be imbibing myself in some children's morphine shortly after the conclusion of this game.
Children's morphine, of course. I've heard it's all the rage, and
to
I think
industry!
Yes, to industry, indeed. I was just going to say to industry, as the Milwaukee Dutchmen immediately get on the board with a home run for 1-0 to Booty Quooks. Here's Chesty Squiders. He's going to fly that one out, and Dunk Ferrari with the catch in center field. And this is a very important start for the Dutchmen to get at the starting pitcher, Moose Masic, quickly.
Yes, this game tonight, game 3 of the conclusion of the old-timey baseball promenade. One of these two teams will be honored with the bronze promenade trophy.
Yes, and he's going to be safe. I have to wonder if that will be an error recorded to Masic.
Not a fine start for the Brown Trust.
Now, if you don't mind, Commissioner Kavanaugh, if you don't mind, I would love to know if you could tell the people out in Radio Land, listening on WIP, if you could tell them if you could describe the beauty that is the Bronze Promenade Trophy.
Right.
Yes, sir. The Bronze Promenade Trophy is a cast iron bronze skillet, then cast it again inside of a larger bowl, cast it again inside of a small statue, and then cast it one more time with another bowl on top of the statue itself.
It is a sight to behold.
The names of all players are engraved on the inside, outside, and on the top of each part there.
Goodness, I suppose we have to take your word for it, as we would not be able to see the inside unless we cut it open,
yes.
But nonetheless, very busy first inning already. That's a huge strikeout of Crispy Yellow, and Truss Gundelson, the right fielder, up now with 2 outs, facing Con Wuthelson, who actually has not had the best of seasons in the Continental League. He's been masterful for the Dutchmen, but he is 0-2 as a starting pitcher, and that's going to drop into play. Miscommunication by the outfielders, and it's a single for Grundelson. Here is Dunk Ferrari.
Yes, much like in the same way as the Kaiser left me out in the cold last night, as I was late getting the cab, getting the local horse and buggy cab, trying to get back to my Philadelphia style hotel.
Well, that scallywag, the Kaiser, left you out in the cold. That's not okay, I don't think.
He's certainly a fine parting individual. However, he sometimes gets carried away with things, and sometimes he gets deported.
Oh, well, he has been deported again, I guess.
I have not seen the Kaiser since we did opioids and found ourselves laughing hysterically on the bathroom floor of the hotel room.
Of course. Well, it's been a bit of an off start for Moose Masic. That is another single up the middle.
Yes, sir. The Pettyfinger Hotel. Pettyfinger Hotel, named after Marvin Pettyfinger, who lost his pinky in a tragic industrial accident, and instead had a roll of pennies sleeved and melded to his pinky finger, and that's why he's calling himself the Pettyfinger Hotel.
I did not realize he was such a wealthy man to make a false finger out of an entire roll of pennies.
Yes,
that's
accompanied with his.
That's a costly.
Accompanied by, of course, accompanied by his British counterpart, Mr. Curtis Schilling.
I don't like the cut of that man's jib.
You laugh at him now, but I'm sure once he's rich, he'll be laughing at you.
I'm sure I'll be laughing at him once he is up and old and has crazy ideas as well. That's going to fall into right field. And Moose Masic is not getting any sort of help from his fielders at this point. Con Wuthelson up here in the top of the second. And he's going to single up the middle, the pitcher getting a hit. And the throw at home, is it going to be in time? No, it is not. It is 2-0 on an RBI single from Con Wuthelson, top of the lineup, Beanish Jackson. The Dutchmen are just coming out swinging very early, and they have shocked this Philadelphia crowd, and they have shocked Moose Masic, who is not used to this sort of onslaught.
Certainly one of the finest pitchers of the old-timey baseball promenade. Certainly making his way with the Governors League team, which I'll assure you they will be coming back next year.
Yes.
New familiar and new faces. And another run is coming across.
Well, you are such a well-traveled man, as I've heard, and that is a fancy Dan double play to get out of a mess.
A fancy Dan indeed.
Beautifully played by the Philadelphia infielders. And it is 3-0 with Con Wuthelson on the mound again, facing Mickey Lice. Very much a clubhouse leader, would love to get on base to get the team moving into in the direction of success of this game. And he's going to try to run that one out, but that is going to be an easy play at first for Kooks. Again, Moose Masic has been one of the best pitchers so far. He is he has a record of 1-0 with a no decision in his other start. He has pitched 14 innings so far, not counting this game. An ERA of 1.929, which is rather favorable. 8 strikeouts, which is nothing to sneeze at. Only walked 3 and allowed 14 hits, so that is a fairly respectable stat line, but it's very much the opposite for Con Wuthelson. Wuthelson has just been lit up in these 2 games. He's only pitched 8 innings in 2 games. He's come out early in both. 10 earned runs, 19 hits, only 4 strikeouts, an ERA of over 11. And he's pitching like he's been an all-star all season.
Yeah, so certainly for the Philadelphia, the story being on Saturday with the Hash Buffums getting the 3-run RBI home run, going 2 for 2. The pitcher getting the game-tying home run. There's certainly plenty of baseball left to play. Certainly plenty of action seem to be had. Of course, while I was out there shaking hands and kissing cheeks, I was ultra courteous to wipe my mouth as to not catch the anal herpes, which is popular this time of year.
Yes, it is. It seems to be all the rage, and as we see the scratching in both the front and the back, which I guess means that it can in fact spread to the front.
Yes, so the 7-year itch is quite for its namesake.
Yes, and despite it being anal herpes, I guess it can affect the front butt as well. And that is going to be a huge fly ball. Line drive back to Truss Wendelson. Sliding into second. Safe with 2 outs is Ben Mark Stramplison. Bringing up Rob Dobster, who's already got a hit so far in this game. And Moose Masic, they are going to be trying to get Moose Masic out of this game early and force the Philadelphia Brown Trousers to go to their bullpen.
You know, when I see the baseball prowess of a man named Rob Dobster, I say to myself, he is a man who is there.
He's a man who is what? I'm sorry?
He is a man who is there.
He is there. Yes, he sure is. Rob Dobster is absolutely there. And I have to wonder if he is in fact now or not. That is apparently what they're saying. Here is Con Wuthelson on the mound facing Moose Masic, who will fly that one out foul. Off the bullpen fence. That was very interesting.
And they're trying to rile up his bullpen by sending a call for help, hitting that foul ball to the left side of the bullpen.
Here is Willie Pregnett, top of the lineup after the first out reported.
Masic's not really known for his batsmanship, but certainly is quite the hurler. And the concern of Moose Masic suffering with the anal herpes. I also should note that with the anal herpes, if it does get too severe at the Governor's League, oh my, sliding triple, fantastic play.
My goodness. It just
Fancy effort.
It just shows the effort of these brown trousers. They are just lighting it up. And crispy yellow, that is Willie Pregnant, of course, with the opening triple. And unfortunately, the second out is recorded with a line right to Nello Buthrot. So there goes the opportunity for a sacrifice fly. But here is Truss Grundleson. If he can get something into the outfield, that will bring home a very important run. Well, he's being pitched around right now, not intentionally. 3-1.
It would be actually not the opportunity for the sacrifice fly. However, if he gets a fine hit, certainly will bring him the opportunity.
Could not get it, and it's going to be a third out at first. 3-0 with Moose Masic back on the hill for Hofty Bagdood. So here is the 7, 8, 9 spots of the Dutchmen in the batting order. So this should be hopefully a little bit easier for Masic to get his rhythm back. That should be an easy play at first. Sovin to throw to yellow. And it basically just grazes off the bat of Bagdood and falls front of the plate.
It's really applying the new fresh coat of lead paint. Really,
yeah, it really is. It's these newfangled bats that just don't have the heft to them, and they don't always you can catch one of those dead spots in the bat, I guess.
Yes, sir. Certainly the ceremonial ping or plop.
Yes.
Be confused with me attempting to relieve myself while in the company of the Kaiser at the Pennyworth Hotel last night. The Penny Finger, excuse me.
Of course, no, I cannot. Not to be confused. That is the one on the other side of town, I believe. You have to go down to Swanson or Rittner for that one.
Yes, sir. The children's morphine has not yet
quite all right, but here on
the whipping of the rooting top.
Yes, and that is going to be an out right to Hofty Bagdood for Dunk Ferrari. Here is Mickey Leiss with one out, facing Con Hoodleson. Swing at that one foul. It's 2 outs. 0-2 with the count, excuse me. Not a foul.
Fantastic catch by Hofty Bagdood.
Yes, he's been a great find for the brown trousers. Bustles Muxon usually coming in at right field, but he's I guess Hofty Bagdood has just found a bit of an opportunity where Bustles Muxon has been struggling to find his way into the field and into the lineup for the Dutchmen. The Dutchmen are a very strong team. And Con Wilson, once the pitching can really support the fielding, they will really be a team to watch for. And here we see Booty Cooks has the home run that started this whole scoring drive out. That is strike number 1. Masic still in it, still trying to make his way around into some sort of a rhythm.
Now, it should also be noted that, Mr. Curtis, that the Governors League is always experimenting with the game of baseball, and that is why we are experimenting with next year with bringing in a moat.
A moat? My goodness,
yes.
I love that idea. Where would the moat be placed is my question.
The moat would be placed directly behind the batter's box, and also an additional moat in between the pitcher's mound and the home plate. Any ball is hit into the moat. Any balls hit into the moat are instantly refreshed, cooled off.
Now, what happens if it's hit into the moat? Is it a live ball? Is it a foul? Is it a strike? Is it an out? How does it? Does the fielder have to go swimming into the pool, into the moat, to acquire this?
Well, first the ball is declared wet.
It is declared wet, I see.
And then secondly, the pitcher can go into the moat and bypass the moat. They can also take the bridge, which sometimes may carry an additional toll depending on which stadium is.
So it's strategic. I like this.
Yes.
And that is out number 1.
strategic way of playing the ball. The ball, however, while it's still in the moat, that if the pitcher does not come back up with the ball while he is still alive, it is considered a home run. And then 5 additional runs are added in honor of his death.
I see. And that is going to be a strikeout for Moose Masic, bringing up the top of the lineup with 2 outs. And a runner on second, Willie Pregnant. He did have that triple earlier in the game. This would be a good time. He smashes that one foul. But he is swinging with reckless abandon. Big swing, and he misses that one at strike 2. So 0-2 in the count. That one is
So then what
high.
about better ideas? It harkens back to the 1915 Governor's Championship Series, which we had attempted to begin the film replay, which is a new process we were testing that year. It's where someone with a film troller is taking 35mm film, is running 35mm film for the entirety of the game. And anytime that there is a challenge, that challenge made is that the game is stopped and played under protest until the film is developed. However, due to the film nitrate, most of the films were destroyed and all the games had to be replayed. So our championship game was a best of 17 out of 49 games.
That is, yeah, I can understand how that you would decide that wouldn't work, but I must say I commend you and your Governors League for being trailblazers to baseball here in America, and of course to all these experimentations. Who knows, something instituted by the Governors League could years down the line be a part of baseball as we know it. I mean, who would have thought that stealing a base would have become slowly accepted in the culture of baseball? It seems so rude and so scoundrel-like, and yet we are slowly seeing its strategic purpose, and we are still shaming, but the crowds are starting to warm up to it a bit.
Yes, sir. Certainly initially frowned upon by not having the courtesy of starting to run until the ball has been hit.
And that is a two-industry home run for the Brown Trousers. I apologize for interrupting. Two-industry indeed. A huge home run by Crispy Yellow.
That's the man who has had 9 degree burns on his right arm. Having his ability to swing the bat much faster due to the airspeed resistance of not having body hair.
No doubt about that, and I think a layer of skin was probably slowing him down as well. And Booty Crooks will make the catch for out number 2. Mickey Lice. That was Dunk Ferrari being out. Here's Mickey Lice with 2 outs. And Von Wudelson suddenly up to 65 pitches here in the bottom of the 6th. This game moving along very rapidly. Cannot complain. It's been all action. And I really have enjoyed having you join us for this series, Commissioner Kavanaugh. And that is going to be the end of the 6th inning. 3-1 with the Dutchmen taking the plate with Hofty Bagdude and Moose Masic.
Thank you very much.
Yep, 61.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Mr. Curtis, for having me. And I certainly wish the Governors League certainly was able to being eliminated in the 3rd round with the last team, the Honeywheat Cigarette Company. Oh, my goodness, that was a horrible play.
Will be an error recorded, I believe, to, well, we'll have to see if they are rough enough to, they're harsh enough to record an error to that poor fielder, as that is not always an easy play to make. You have to remember these are athletes. They do their stretches, Hindu squats, and non-denominational squats. And, of course, they have those big barrels that they swing in the air, and that helps with their upper body strength. And, they do have to make these very athletic plays, and sometimes they don't always go that way. And the Dutchman will score a 4th on that out. So it'll be a productive out for Von Wudelson, and here is Venus Jackson top of the lineup.
Now you'll have to wonder as well with the Pittsburgh Presbyterians when they do the Hindu squats and the non-denominational, maybe the Presbyterian squats.
I imagine
they're also developing something called the Lawrenceville, the Birmingham rolls. Have you heard of it?
I have not. I would love to learn about it as they go to the bullpen. Here comes Tiddly Bonetti in at the top of the 7th for Moose Masic, so it will be 6 1/3 innings for Masic, which is a quality start as far as length of innings goes, but again, would have liked a little bit better than 5 runs scored by the Dutchman. An uncharacteristic day for Moose Masic. No, I'm confused. Do you know anything about this what was it called? The Birmingham long roll? Is that what it
It
was?
was called the Birmingham long roll. It's where they get onto a hill and they go hindquarters over tea kettle. It's where you roll and then you start actually your legs go over top of your head and then they continue to roll in a backwards fashion. It's supposed to stretch the limbs and provide vitality and vigor and really loosen up the joints and the ligaments.
I see that, and well, that is going to be a quick fly out after 2 runs are scored. In the middle of the 7th, Philadelphia Brown Trousers come to the plate with Poonsley Fair. And I must say that you just taught me, if I ever tried it, I don't think I would find myself uprighted again. I think I would get stuck, which just shows the athleticism of these players to be able to do such stretches, to put their bodies through such rigors, and again, to play 42 games over the course of roughly 2 months. At the highest level as this is. And again, a kudos and a hurrah and a huzzah to your Governors League. I look forward to kicking in any more of the games. If I'm ever in any other towns, I would love to see a Philadelphia team show up in the Governors League, but I understand, you know, there's always so much that can be done. Pigel Scalia, by the way, we're coming out for Greep Barlow. Coming off the bench.
Looking for more batsmanship, certainly a fine play there.
Barlow has been on and off this season, but I think, you know, anything that can possibly bring in some offense for the Brown Trousers, that is going to be a Fancy Dan will score 1, but the Fancy Dan is recorded, so it's now 5-2, and Tiddly Benetti will be coming out for Bent Wildly, the third baseman. So again, a pinch hitter, he's going to go up the middle for that one. And he's back on first base, so the inning will continue for the Brown Trousers. This is very good to see, as a Brown Trousers supporter as I am. And coming in for Con Woothelson, it will be Food Thoyd, the relief pitcher and one of the star bullpen participants of the Dutchmen. Mr. Kavanaugh, Commissioner Kavanaugh, you might recognize the reason Food Thoyd is a late addition to the Dutchmen's roster as Melon sock sprain was not killed in a match with for the Dutchmen during the promenade, but he was rendered completely contused due to a body contusion.
Yes,
his baseball, walking, and making love days are over.
Yes, certainly not the inability to father any more future children for Mr. Socksbrain. However, he felt that he was still alive and not worth the musket shot to the back of the head, and the ceremonial raising of the banner in honor. However, it was without saying that it was certainly a freak line drive that hit him in the square of the head, contuning him in such a fashion that it was an emergency the Birmingham roll that had occurred.
Yes, I think the only thing that kept him alive was his enormous girth. He was just a very stocky, hefty man, and
yes,
he was in fact hefty, and not in fact wimpy. Were he any lesser of a specimen from the body shape department, I think he would have been killed on the spot. There would not even have been a need for the musket shot. Here is Rob Dobster with runner on second, 1 out. He's going to fire that one into right field. And it will be yet another home run to industry indeed for the Dutchmen. And you must forgive my lack of excitement for that, and it does put the away team, the Dutchmen, in the lead a little further. And I think if there is an engraver who can get started, he might want to get started on the Dutchmen's names.
Well, since the trophy gets passed around quite frequently, they don't have the ability, so they just engrave notch marks.
Fair enough, I understand. Well, they might want to get started in either way. That's going to be out number 2. To Hofty Bagdood. Here's Goody Fine, 8th in the lineup for the Dutchmen. But nonetheless, this will in fact put the Philadelphia Brown Trousers a bit further back in the standings. A win for this would put them tied with the Dutchmen. A win for the Dutchmen would put them tied with the Brown Trousers at 4 and 5. And that would put a bit of a logjam at the bottom of the standings here in the Continental League. Excuse my misspeaking. Rory Borealis on the mound right now for the Brown Trousers.
Yeah, certainly the offense of the Dutchmen. Fantastic batsmanship here tonight. Clearly, all 5 of the receivers not deciding who wants to make that catch.
Yes.
They were able to figure out before the ball reached to the ground.
And Food Thoyd coming in for the Dutchmen is not going to make anything easier for these brown trousers batsmen. But of course, I say that, and we're on with a single for, I believe that was, in fact, Truss Grundleson, his Dunk Ferrari, who was moved to third base when Greet Barlow came in. And the Philadelphia Brown Trousers, after this, will go on the road. They have a travel day tomorrow, and they will take on the New Ohio Debonaires at the Tri-City Fairgrounds on the 16th, 2 days from now. And the Milwaukee Dutchmen will have a late trip. They have a travel day tonight. They'll have to travel through the night back home to Milwaukee as they host the Pittsburgh Presbyterians for a 3-game series. And that will, of course, and the Philadelphia Brown Trousers as well will begin a road trip as after they face the New Ohio Debonaires. They will go to Schenectady, New York to face the Amalgamated Baseball Holdings team, so that will be a tough series for them. And that is going to send someone home. It is going to be 7-3, so it's not quite out yet. That was a huge play by Mickey Lice, a double, bringing home the run-up, 7-3. And unfortunately, this is going to look to be, yes, it's going to be out number 2, but they're going to tag up. Nope, he's going to wait, and that is going to be a very cautious play by Mickey Lice. Very smart play. He would not have been safe at third. And here's Tron.
Yes, so not the least better. The fine arm on him. But fantastic field.
And goodness me, well, diving into the ground. I believe that was Booty Quooks just sending himself into the dirt. Trying to dive
in protest of the outrageous laundry fees, the self-laundering fees they have.
I guess just diving into the dirt when that ball was far into the crowd. I don't even know what was happening there.
You figure you're up 4 runs. It certainly pays nicely to have some fun.
Yes, I pardon me for laughing at perhaps his misfortune, but you know the game is not going in the direction of the Brown Trousers at the moment. But I have to have a bit of humor in that. And I did enjoy watching that a bit. So,
and I should also let you know that you can now wash your clothes with salt.
Wow! Is there anything salt cannot do? But that is salt. Found wherever salt is sold.
I believe the only thing that salt cannot do is cure wounds.
Yes, you do not pour. Many have learned that the hard way of putting salt in a wound. It does not, in fact, cure the wound. You'll need to get your iodine and your plaster bandages for that. And that's going to be a strikeout. So at the bottom of the 9th, Food Thoyd currently on the mound. I don't know if they'll be going to Food Hooges, the closing pitcher.
Mr. Curtis, yes, I shall need to bid you adieu. I must go down to the field to present the Bronze Promenade Trophy.
Yes, I think that will be good to see. We're looking forward to that as the trophy presentation, whether it be to the Dutchmen, in fact, or the Brown Trousers. Thank you for joining us, Commissioner Kavanaugh. Look forward to having you down there.
Yes, I shall get the announcement at the conclusion of the game.
And love to hear that. Hopefully we'll stay for that. Ding Low coming in for Rory Borealis, a pinch hitter for the Brown Trousers as they have a runner on second. And that's going to go, into the ankle of Food Thoyd. And the runner will move to third, but the out was recorded at first base. Willie Pregnet takes ball 1. Food Thoyd very careful in this. Going to be to Venus Jackson. The throw to first to Booty Quooks. And it's 7-4, so a consolation run is scored. But the Milwaukee Dutchmen are in fact the winners of the old-timey baseball promenade, 1919 champions. The trophy will be presented in just a moment. And we see as some of the Brown Trousers fans are in fact leaving. Not many Dutchman fans in the stands as Milwaukee. A bit of a trek. But let us go through the line score before we head down to the field for the trophy presentation. Again, the final score, regrettably I have to report, the Milwaukee Dutchmen do win and take the series 2-1. 7 runs off 13 hits. The Philadelphia Brown Trousers, 4 runs off 12 hits. No errors recorded for either team. The box score will in fact be sent off to the afternoon papers, the printing press. It will be in your afternoon papers tomorrow. The win is given to Con Wuthelson, his first win of the season. Moose Masic, his first loss of the season. And Food Thoyd will get the save, and I will check my statistics for just a moment to see that this is the 3rd save opportunity for Food Thoyd. He's become quite the closing pitcher for the Milwaukee Dutchmen, and of course the finest standees of the day, brought to you by the Honeywee Tobacco Company. Goody Fine, the 3rd finest standee of the day, with a double, going 3 for 4. Con Wuthelson, the starting pitcher, the winning pitcher, going 8 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, and 6 2/3 innings pitched. But Rob Dobster is the finest dandy of the day, going 2 for 4 with a home run, 2 RBIs off that home run, and 2 runs himself. And with that, I turn it over to the field for the PA announcement. For, as he's got the microphone on the field, it is Commissioner Charles Kavanaugh who will present the Bronze Trophy right at this moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Governors League, of the Continental League, we would like at this time to please present the Bronze Promenade Trophy to the 1919 champions, the Milwaukee Dutchmen. And this trophy forged out of bronze, iron, blood, and the hands of small children, to be presented to you here today, to be engraved with single notches for each of the staff and those in attendance that marked this fantastic baseball series. We thank you very much for your team, your support, and the support of both leagues, and we certainly hope to do this again in the good old 1920. Thank you very much, and here's the trophy.
And you can see the Dutchmen very respectful. The handshakes are being handed around by Commissioner Kavanaugh, and the trophy is being raised into the air in celebration, a respectful celebration considering, but you are to imagine that they will be enjoying the celebrations through the night on that bus back to Milwaukee, and I'm sure they will be welcomed by the home fans as they head back on a homestand, as they do in fact face the Pittsburgh Presbyterians in a 3-game series for the Milwaukee Dutchmen. After, I believe, they don't have a travel day. They have to start that tomorrow on the 15th, a 3-game series. And I believe they will be welcomed with a hero's welcome by the city of Milwaukee and their fans. Which leaves me, Mutton Curtis, here on Radio WIP, the sounds of Philadelphia, bidding you a good night from 30th Street Park. And we will see you, Johns, next time.